channel. I thought I would do a little video today about how much it actually cost me to put on my last exhibition. Sometimes exhibitions can be really expensive because you've got to first of all produce a whole collection of work, so that's time consuming, there's a lot of materials, and then also there's a lot of little things that you need to get that you don't always think about, and it does start to add up. So in this video I'm going to go through what I spent, what I already had and therefore saved money on, what was provided, and also I'm going to touch on the unpaid labour of putting on an exhibition too. Now personally I thought this exhibition was fairly cheap. I've definitely spent more on putting an exhibition on in the past, but I was really lucky this time with that. We got a great venue and the organisers provided a lot of things and they didn't ask us to pay for certain things that sometimes you have to pay for. I did consider this relatively cheap one, but let me break it down for you and we'll see exactly what was spent. Okay, so first, what I spent putting on the exhibition. I wanted to make a new piece of fabric for this collection. As you may already know, I design my own fabrics. I do marbling on paper and then I scan it in, get it digitally printed, blah blah. So I wanted to create a new fabric, so I did that and I ordered a sample piece of fabric, which is about a little square like that, and it cost me £9.97 including postage. Then when that came, I was happy with it. I ordered 1 metre of the fabric and including postage that was £22.98. So it's not the cheapest, but it is my bespoke fabric. So, and this, I should say, this is the standard cotton type fabric. So that's nearly £40 just on the fabric. I ordered 50 more of my business cards at £26.30. I had to buy command strips for putting up the exhibition, which was kind of annoying because I didn't actually end up really needing them. I just used them to put up my little labels next to my work. The actual work was hung on wires with fixtures that were provided. So I could have got away with not buying these, but they cost me £5.18, so that's not too bad. I also had to go to B&Q and buy some wooden dowels to make my little hanging pieces, and that cost me £18.12 altogether. So that's everything that I spent producing the work, and then there were also parking fees. So I was at the exhibition every day for the 6 days that it was on. So I had to pay to park, so I paid £2, £4, £2.50, £4, £2.50 again, and that adds up to a total of £15 spent on parking over those 2 weekends. So altogether, what I spent putting on the exhibition was £102.55. So 100 quid basically I spent. Now, what I already had, this has obviously saved me some money. I already had calico, which I used to back my hanging pieces, I used it to back my canvas frame pieces, and I also created a couple of canvas frame pieces that were just on the calico. So that had 2 layers of calico, the one with the actual embroidery on and then the backing piece. So I already had that calico, I already had all the thread, didn't need to buy a new reel of thread. I already had the gold wire that I used on my hangings. I already had the little eyelet things that I put in the end of the dowels. They could have cost a few quid because they're sort of like specialist little jewellery eyelet things. I also, by pure fluke, didn't think I was going to have enough, but I had enough wood to make the frames, the canvas frames. I really thought I was going to have to get some more, but I didn't need to. So that saved money because obviously I already spent £18.12 on wooden dowels. Wood is not cheap these days. But yeah, luckily I had enough wood to do that. Now, what was provided for me? We were really lucky. The venue was provided free of charge. If you missed it, it was a National Trust venue. It's usually closed all throughout the year and they just open it on the Heritage Open weekends that the National Trust do. So it was provided free of charge because the people that own the building and sort of work in the building wanted to have something on that people could come and see. It's not a huge building, so they wanted a little bit of something else for people to come and see while it was open. So yeah, super lucky with that. The only thing they did charge is a 30% commission on anything we sold over £30, which is really reasonable. Some galleries and places will charge 50% and upwards sometimes. So yeah, it was pretty good. And I actually took some postcard prints to sell, and I sold a lot of them, and obviously didn't have to pay commission on them because they're only a few pounds each. The venue also provided for free the display boards that my work was on. So these big, tall display boards, and they also had hanging wire to hang the work on with the little clips. So I didn't need to get anything for that. They also, our curator, printed our little signs, our labels, our artist bios, all that printed for us on card. So that was all done. Didn't have to faff about doing anything like that, paying for mount board, paying for card, etc. So I think that saved us some quite big costs, especially venue and gallery fees. They'd be the most expensive things often in an exhibition, and we didn't have them. So that was perfect. So to round it off, now I'm going to cover unpaid labour. So the things that I did, that my partner did, that we took on ourselves that we would have had to pay someone else to do, or saved us money. So my partner actually makes all of my canvas frames. He puts them together himself, chops the wood down, etc., puts them together. He probably spent an hour doing that. I only had a few to do. He also chopped down my wooden dowels for me, which is like a 10-minute job, but still, I didn't pay him for that. That's just what he gets for the privilege of living with me, an artist. Marketing, I obviously did lots of marketing myself. I did actually 12 Instagram posts leading up to it, as well as other marketing like emails and stuff. Obviously, I don't directly get paid for that. I just hope that people see it and come to the exhibition, and it reaps its own rewards. Then in terms of days in the exhibition itself, there was a day of installing the day before we opened, so that was a day unpaid, obviously, because it's my work. And then 6 days in total manning the exhibition itself. Now, I don't mind this so much because, I mean, I didn't have to be there. Some of the artists couldn't commit to all the 6 days because they had other commitments on. And I didn't have to be there. But I thought if I can be there, I want to be there, because it's always just nice to see people interacting with your work. And then you get the opportunity that you don't always get to chat to people, see what they like, what they think, just get their feedback. So yeah, I wanted to be there, but that was 6 whole days worth of work. But I won't say this is a total loss of like an unpaid day, because I actually was able to be very productive on those days, because it's like a nice quiet setting. You're in a gallery. I had a little chair. I was writing away pages and pages in my notebook of like planning for future events and things like that. So not a complete loss of an unpaid day, that. So yeah, that is everything that I spent. Total £102.55 and a few days unpaid manning the exhibition, but overall great experience being able to chat to everybody. I was lucky because of the venue and display things that we got for free, and I already had a lot of stuff. So yeah, that I would consider that a pretty cheap exhibition and generally a success. If you haven't seen the exhibition, I did a little video breaking down the collection, my inspiration behind it, what it's all about. You can watch that. And I also did a video of like exhibition diaries, prepping for the exhibition, all the behind the scenes and then the install and stuff like that. So you can have a look at those. I'll put them in the description, and I will see you in the next one.